I always take pleasure in taking part in SNP debates, and I have done a few, and I'm beginning to notice a pattern. I have been called here previously to defend the UK's position on jobs, while the SNP have dismissed the 545,000 Scottish jobs reliant on being part of the UK. I have been called here to discuss the importance of hypothetical EU funding mechanisms, while the SNP dismisses the very real United Kingdom dividend to the taxpayers of Scotland of £2,000 per person, and in another debate the SNP sought to be the champions of democracy whilst they ignored the result of 2 referendums. So it might be a surprise to some that in a week when we've had more revelations about the Scottish Government's own lack of financial propriety and literacy, they have called a debate on such themes. But it is not a surprise to me. I think it shows admirable consistency, Mr Deputy Speaker, and also shows a complete lack of self-awareness with a large helping of assumed piety. So in addition to the many things that we have done in government to improve transparency and procurement, let me also tell the SNP in the House what we have not done. We did not hire a firm at £10 million to run our testing service, which promptly furloughed its staff. The SNP did. We didn't offer firms that offered PPE to NHS Scotland. We did not ignore them. The SNP did. We did not provide guarantees to a company to the tune of £5 million per job to be secured. Yes, £5 million per job, and then failed to secure those jobs. The SNP did. We did not secure loans without due diligence. The SNP did. Our National Audit Office didn't say that we had no framework for working with private companies, and indeed needed to urgently establish one. Audit Scotland did of the Scottish Government. We are not having to replace facing lost public funds from capital budgets, money earmarked to build schools and hospitals. The SNP are. We did not ignore recommendations made by our auditing body, unlike the SNP, who have been criticised for ignoring Audit Scotland's reports of the last 3 years. And we did not ignore inward investors who wanted to put their own money into Scotland and instead gave preference to another firm who could only do so with public funds. As the media reports this week, if the SNP wants to start gaining some credibility on these matters, I suggest 2 things. Firstly, they should implement the recommendations of their own scrutiny bodies. They should place information on deals, guarantees and dealings with private companies, including those given to GFG in the public domain. And secondly, I want them to think about the context in which we're having this debate. This week, we learnt that Scotland has 6 of the 10 places with the highest infection rates in Europe. On average, Scotland's school children have missed 119 days of schooling in this pandemic, and those from deprived backgrounds even more so. A massive 216,000 operations have not taken place in NHS Scotland. We have a huge catch-up job, and we have to ensure that we can keep a vaccine programme on track. We're all facing these issues and challenges, and we will meet them better if we meet them together. So for our part, CDL will continue to engage with Scottish colleagues. Our 4-nation NHS will continue to work together, as will our chief medical officers. I and my fellow ministers, all comprehensively school educated, by the way, will come to this House to be held to account, and we will continue to reject the distracting, delusional and divisive debate from the SNP. We will do the responsible thing. We know our duty to the Scottish people, and we will always be guided by what is in their interest. And I hope one day the SNP will do the same.